Hi, this is Juliet, and it's been a while since I spoke to you the last time. I think it was the end of last year. So I've been pretty much busy the last year because I got retrained in hypnotherapy. And for the ones who are following my profile, have seen that I have opened a new practice in Granville, in Normandy, in the north of France. And as you can see, it's just behind. I am in my new office right now. And so the practice has been working pretty well.
So, with the hypnotherapy, there are different applications that I focus on today. So, there will be, of course, for anxiety and trauma that is happening, especially around these times of the COVID, the fears of the future, the feeling of being vulnerable and powerless and not knowing how this is going to turn out, leading to insomnia, exhaustion, in the worst cases, even burnout. And another point that I do address is pain, chronic pain. So if there was, like an accident or a physical something that is actually holding you in pain, that's something that can be really worked on pretty well. Also in the frame for cancer or migraines or irritable bowel syndrome. Then there is, of course, to stop smoking when it's an addiction that needs to be broken. That can be a point. And another application that we're going to focus on today is hypnogastric banding.
But first of all, before diving into the hypnogastric banding, I wanted to talk a little bit about my own weight loss story to you. For those of you who do not know, I have been struggling and yo-yo dieting for the last 30 years because it was always dieting, depriving myself, discipline, and then at one moment just, like screw it all, binging until, and then, you know, putting it all back on. If I lost 10, I would have gained another 13. So every time you lose that weight and then a few on top of it, you gain it back. So that was a pretty common cycle, I think many of you know. So when I stumbled upon the hypnogastric banding during my training by becoming a hypnotherapist, I thought, hey, this sounds interesting, almost too good to be true. I'm going to try it for myself. Because before I start working with my clients on this, I want to see if it's effective on me. And I'm a difficult one to handle. So, of course, I tried it. And the picture that you saw in the beginning, I'm just going to put it up for 1 second here again. There we go. It's actually me before and after. And so far, I have lost 8.5 kilos. Still losing, But the difference is it was effortless because you're not working against your body by depriving it of food. Because dieting is actually the worst thing to do if you want to lose weight sustainably. Dieting puts your body in a stress response of famine. And this is one of the most basic survival instincts of our bodies. They are wired to keep us safe, wired to keep us alive on this planet. And so if you're starving it, it's going to understand, oh my God, it's a famine going around. I need to hold on to every single morsel of food that you're eating. And I need to keep you safe, keep you alive. And so if you're dieting, it's the worst thing you can do. But, because the other options were not very useful, that was what I was doing as myself. I have tried every diet on earth, low carb, high fat, low fat, starving myself, and of course exercising until I dropped, so 5-6 times a week. And yes, it did yield results, but the yo-yo effect. So that's totally not sustainable. So when I stumbled upon this hypnogastric banding, I tried it. And the big difference is that you really address and eliminate the root causes for why you eat like you eat. So it can be having extreme cravings, binging, being all the time attracted to the extreme kind of foods like greasy and sugary and pappy and creamy, stuff like that, or salty food like fries and chips and what have you not. So it was really going to the root cause, eradicating that, and then starting to program myself with the good behaviors, with the good eating behaviors, good exercising behaviors, but all in a very natural way. And the hypnogastric banding comes at, let's say, the middle of the program of this protocol, where you really restrict mentally, like a mental surgery. Somebody told me that a few days ago. It's a mental surgery where you make your mind believe that your stomach is shrinking. And it is shrinking, I can tell you. After a few days of having done the hypnogastric surgery on myself, I divided my portions by 2. It was like half of what I was eating before, and without forcing myself, because my body would just say, enough, stop it. And the same thing with, cravings I had before. I was pretty much into chocolate and sugary stuff like cake. I still do eat cake, but it is just not craving anymore. I can just have a little piece, and that is totally satisfying. That is totally enough. I don't need to eat like several pieces, that moment when you eat one piece of cake and then you say, how, just take me one, let me take one more piece. It just doesn't happen anymore. That's pretty amazing. So that is really the big difference. You address the root causes, and it makes changes in your real lifestyle so that you can hold on to them forever. You just keep listening to the audio. So it's like in the first 3 sessions, I make an audio for my clients, and you listen to them during those 2 weeks that we're spacing out the sessions. And for the hypnogastric banding, that audio is a little bit longer, but you just listen to it for at least 3 weeks, and you can keep listening to it afterwards. So this is not a quickly crash diet program and then you just regain it back even more than you had lost, but it is something that is sustainable because you make the changes sustainably. You eat better, you eat healthier, do the sports, and you address the underlying issues. You address all the stressors mentally, emotionally, and physically, so that this weight loss is also something that you get used to gradually. At this moment, I have quite a few clients who have a lot of weight to lose. So let's say between 30 and 50 kilos. And so it takes time, of course. And as I try to tell them too, is like you gained this weight in years, right? How can you expect it to be dropping off within days? And that's also the big difference between the hypnogastric banding and the normal surgery of gastric banding. You should not lose it that quickly, because if you do, your skin will be like hanging all over your body. So by doing it this way, progressively and sustainably, your skin has the time to retract and to come back to the natural position, and you looking better than ever and fab, of course. So this is also possible via Zoom, because I don't need to be in the same room with you to do this program. So if you're interested, don't hesitate to shoot me a message or just give me a little call. You have my cell phone number on the brochure and on the website. So I'm looking forward to talking to you. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.